However, good morning. If you notice, I am wearing my Christmas in March pajamas and my cute little Christmas socks. So hopefully you're actually having fun at home with your holiday spirit. If you wonder why I have on a hat and scarf, it's because today we're going to travel to Mount Everest. So what in the world? We're going to Mount Everest. So there's been many names of Mount Everest. So at first, Everest is called Chamalunga by the Tibetan people. It means mother goddess of the universe. How beautiful of a name is that, right? However, the people of Nepal called it Sagarmatha, which also means the goddess of the sky. So one said the goddess of the universe, other one said goddess of the sky. Everest was first named Peak 15 and measured 29,000 feet in 1856. This is when a British survey team led by Sir George Everest in 1841, and that's when they then named it after Everest in 1865. So it's pretty cool. So Mount Everest has gone through several different names. I'm sure certain countries still call it by those names by the people where they're from. So it's cool, interesting facts. Where is Mount Everest? So the location of Mount Everest is on the border of both China and Nepal. The summit of Mount Everest lies on the border of Nepal to the south and Tibet to the north. So this is it right here. All right, so that's pretty cool. It's surrounded by a whole bunch of different countries, but as you'll learn in a few minutes, many people travel here just for the Mount Everest. So the overview of Mount Everest. It is over 60 million years old. It is 29,000 feet or 88,000 meters high. So it is huge, okay? It grows about 1/4 of an inch every year. So the cool thing about this thing is it's still growing. It hasn't stopped growing and it doesn't intend to stop growing. So as of right now, that's the height. But just think in like 10 years when you're an adult, it's gonna be even taller. Crazy. The rocket summit is also covered with deep snow all year long. So even when it's summertime, it still has snow on it. All right, so hiking Mount Everest. It takes at least $30,000 to climb Mount Everest. It takes 10 weeks to climb, and there is 66 less oxygen in each breath on the summit. Everest Base Camp also has Wi-Fi. So you kids out there who wish you can make this, this Mecca and go on this summit, you can still have Wi-Fi, but it's only at the base. So here's a cool picture to show you exactly what it looks like. So you would start here and you would travel up. And if you look, you can actually see how many feet you're going up. So even though it looks like a small amount, it's really still high. I don't think I can make that. That seems unbelievable, okay? All right, let's go to the next slide. There are more than 7,000 peaks on Everest. So this is actually a real live picture of Mount Everest. It is beautiful, but people travel all the way up here. It's amazing. And you notice that there's clouds in the background. That's how high up it is. Cool. So what in the world? So more than 5,000 people have already climbed Mount Everest. Unbelievable. So what it means is summit means the highest point along a trail. So if you look at the picture I showed you before, those trails are on there and those are different summits. There have been many successes in trying to do Mount Everest or trying to climb Mount Everest. The first attempt is 1921. The youngest person was a male and his name was Jordan Romero. He was American and he was 13 years old and 10 months. And he did that on May 23rd, 2010. He did the north side. So there is different sides you can climb so that if you hear me reference that, it's because of where they are. The youngest woman to summit was Indian Malava Horna. She was 13 years and 11 months, and she did it in May 12, 2014, also from the north side. So she was 1 month older than Jordan Romero. And the most impressive was a blind American named Eric Weimer in 2001. It was like amazing. All right, so what do you think you might need to do this Mecca up the Mount Everest? Well, what you would need is this thick, puffy suit filled with goose feathers to keep climbers warm. You would need Sherpa. So Sherpa is the people that live there. They live in Nepal, and they help climbers by carrying tents and cooking food. You would also need thin nylon ropes which are used to help climbers from falling. And the climbers also wear spikes on their boots called crampons. Most climbers eat a lot of rice and noodles for food. Can you guess why? That's a good question. So those rice and noodles are definitely full of carbohydrates, and that helps those muscles, which you would need a lot of those to climb up Mount Everest. Almost all climbers use bottled oxygen because it's so high and it keeps the climbers warm. All right, what do you think you would take on that? I know they've mentioned a few of the necessities, but what's some things that you would want to take along with you just to keep you going? And last but not least, how would you feel about climbing Mount Everest? I mean, I don't know how I feel. I think I would be a little bit excited, but at the same time scared. Here's a picture of people actually taking the summit, and this is how they sleep. So once you take the summit, you have to stay because like I said, it takes 40 days. So you can't climb up and then climb back down. You actually have to climb up and go in a tent and sleep, and then you continue up, which I love camping, but I don't know how much I would enjoy sleeping in a tent on a icy mountain. That would be quite an adventure. Next, what did you learn today? So feel free to post any statements, or you can use this as your time to journal and tell me what you learned about Mount Everest. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. As for now, thank you so much for coming and listening to the video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.